Welcome back to my channel. I'm Chimera and I've written thousands of songs, so I thought I'd make a video of 5 tools that I use in my songwriting process, as well as 5 tried and true songwriting secrets. We're calling this video 10 tips for top 10 songwriting. Why should you listen to me? Well, I am a former songwriter for Sony ATV, and I came up writing with and learning from some true geniuses like Stargate, Rodney Jerkins, Louis Bell, August Rigo, DQ from the Writing Camp, Taj Jackson, and many more. So I've definitely picked up some gems along the way. So let's get into it. Okay, number 1 tool. I don't know about you, but sometimes I want to sit down and write a song, but don't have an instrumental or don't have the right instrumental for my vibe. So the first tip is how to get some great song starters. These will be like temporary instrumentals or chord progressions just so you can get the song written and recorded. Then you'll want to bring it to a producer and make a new track around your vocals. My first stop with this issue might be beatstars.com, especially if I know I have a producer who will come in and finish the song. You can buy a license to use these instrumentals, but you won't be the only one with access to that instrumental, hence the super affordable price tag. Many people can download the same instrumental. They also have a lot of beats for free download, basically to get you on that producer's email list. So basically go to beatstars.com and in the search bar, just type in your vibe. I'm going to say Taylor Swift type beats. And here we go. These are all instrumentals that producers have tagged sound like something Taylor Swift would write. You can also filter this even further on the side, even maybe by saying show free beats only, if that's what you want, and go ahead and start looking for something to write to. Next option, if you have a Splice account, splice.com, or a friend with one, you can search for chord progressions. This can be super helpful because then your producer might even be able to repurpose that sample into the actual song. So head to splice.com, log in, go to sounds, and start searching. You can also browse their charts, search by instrument, up to you. I'm just going to type in EDM chords. And there you have it. You can start browsing and go hunting from there. By the way, BeatStars definitely does have a large variety, but I would say it does tend to lean more hip hop. Vocal.com just launched Ghost Tracks, and these are probably going to lean more EDM. We got deep house, pop. Definitely more pop and EDM on this website. And one last option, you could always rip a famous song that's already been released and just like loop the intro. Or if there is an instrumental song out there that you like, you could just download it, write to it, but then have the instrumental remade after you've already recorded your vocals. Okay, second tool. I use this every single time I write a song. If you have a Mac computer, it comes with a program called Pages. This is basically the Mac version of Microsoft Word. There is a feature that literally changed the whole game for my songwriting. We write lyrics and melody, so why not have a feature that supports both needs? Pages does. So we'll type our lyrics here. This is the verse. And then what you can do to get the melody down is go to Insert, and scroll down and record audio. This is awesome. Press record. This is my idea. That was a really bad idea. So now you have this player that just appeared. And what's great is you can move it around and you can actually place it right next to the lyrics that you just wrote. So later on, when I write my chorus, I can insert another audio thing. And this is my chorus. Insert, put it there, and you've got it to reference later when you're in the booth. So say you're also working on the melody and you make a little change, you want to fix it. You can just highlight the audio player that you want to fix, hit edit recording, and this line here is the playhead. So just make sure if you want to add to this, you scroll over here so you're starting your recording from back here. Otherwise, if you scroll to the front, you're going to overwrite what you recorded before and you can't get it back. Apple Z doesn't work for this. My third favorite tool is a website called rhymezone.com, and this definitely comes in handy when I can't think of a word that rhymes with whatever. So you just type in your word and it will separate it by syllables. It even bolds the words that you'll probably more likely want to use. But then if you scroll down, it actually gives you words that almost rhyme, which in songwriting is totally fine. Definitely utilize this if you haven't already. I bet you probably already have. My fourth favorite tool is thesaurus.com. Sometimes you just want a different word. Maybe the word that you want the meaning of doesn't really sing right. It doesn't really fit, doesn't sound good. So just come in here and look for other options that might fit your song better. Okay, and the last tool I use, number 5, this is ChatGPT, or also known as OpenAI.com. I use it mainly for researching ideas ahead of time. I like to have an ideas note in my phone or a Google Doc I can refer to when I'm not sure what I want to write about yet. I find that it's not the best to use during a writing session because things can start to move away from inspiration and become more cerebral real quick, and that's never a vibe for writing great songs. Here's an example of how I used ChatGPT. I prompt it with, I'm a songwriter who gets hired to write songs for clients. Can you help me make a list of general lyric themes that tend to be used on top 40 radio? And this list it generated is pretty darn spot on. Love and relationships, empowerment and self-confidence, party and celebration, personal growth, resilience, freedom, rebellion, definitely, nostalgia, inspirational, feel-good. These are great. So I ask it a follow-up question. Okay, for each one of these 10 lyrical themes, can you make 10 different song title ideas? And it did a great job. Here are 10 song ideas for each theme. Then I started asking it to give me song title ideas that might fit the vibe of certain artists. And it did start doing something kind of weird, and I want to show you how I redirected it. So I asked if it would come up with ideas for Rihanna. If she were to make a new album, what would her song titles be? And one of the results was Diamonds in the Sky, a nod to her hit Diamonds, which is just stupid. We're not doing that. Rhythm and Roses, that's kind of cool. Unapologetic Love. You might start finding that ChatGPT can be a little corny, but Island Breeze, okay, maybe I wouldn't name the song that, but maybe it will put me in the mindset to think of like, what could be like a cool song title about being on an island on a vacation or something. And it just might get the juices flowing. So take these as ideas, but then be an actual songwriter and expand on these ideas. So to fix that issue of it generating song ideas using those lyrics that she's already used, I asked, can you make me a list for Beyonce without using words that she's used in songs before? And it gave me this list of interesting song titles that she hasn't used before, so we sometimes need to just redirect ChatGPT. I then moved from song titles to asking it to come up with some metaphors for me, so it came up with 2 metaphors per each lyrical theme for me. Pretty cool. So yeah, word to the wise, don't rely so much on ChatGPT, but just let those ideas be starting points that you can expand on as a professional songwriter. A lot of the results you get will definitely be super cheesy, but maybe you know a cooler way to say something that it gives you. All right, so those are the tools I use. Now here are 5 more big tips, including my biggest secret melody hack for always writing a catchy hit melody. My clients love this. First though, vibes are everything. I've got all the color changing lights in my studio, the candles, the incense. But another pro tip is if you're writing with a certain artist in mind, while you're writing, why not play their music videos on your monitor on mute while you write the song? Because visuals are always super cool and helpful for inspiration. Tip number 2, maybe you need a complete change of scenery sometimes. Lately, I've actually been writing songs in my car overlooking the ocean or in some nice nature spot. And of course, it's always cool to take a trip somewhere out of town, stay in a cool Airbnb, write songs there. I've written a lot of songs in Joshua Tree. All right, number 3, huge tip for songwriting. This is massive and I use it a lot. Listen to some song references. Simply listening to a famous song that's already released might get you into the right zone or trying something new. You might listen to a reference and like how they go back and forth between like a long melodic line and a staccato repetition, or you might hear some super clever metaphor and you might want to come up with your own clever metaphor. It's very inspiring listening to famous references. Another tip, number 4, this is similar to the last, but check this out. We are creatures of habit, and we often resort to the same writing styles over and over. So as you're working on your song, you might realize, oh crap, my verse actually sounds a lot like my chorus, and you need some more drastic variety to your song. Quickly taking your ears out of the song you're working on and go listen to something maybe like on Billboard Hot 100. Listen to the rhythm and then jump back into your song and sing something with a similar rhythm to what you just heard. Obviously, you'll come up with new notes to fit your chord progression, but this will give you a fresh idea and you might find something that your song was missing. Okay, my last tip. This is my biggest secret tip for hit song melody writing. I do this in almost every song I write. My clients love it without fail. So I even would call this a songwriting hack. So what you'll do is you'll start with the first line and literally write anything. Any melody at all. It's what you will do next that's the big secret that will make it super catchy and hooky. You're gonna write the next line and even maybe the next several lines in the same melodic shape, but starting on a different note, probably a third higher or lower, maybe a fifth. It depends on where the chord progression takes you. Let me give you an example. I've got my splice open. I'm just gonna play a guitar sample and I'm gonna write one line and then I'm gonna sing the same melodic shape on a different part of the chord. I will write this melody. I will write this melody. I will write this melody. And then I'll write this melody. You can apply this concept to one section or you can sprinkle it all over the place. Repetition really does work all the time, and I still definitely do throw in some cake, but that's really like a manufactured type of catchiness. Straight repetition is like forcing something to stay in your head, while this technique, just repeating melodic shape, it's catchiness in a more organic way. It's stuck in your head and you might not even really know why. It's kind of sneaky. So those are my best songwriting tips after years and years of writing with the best of the best. Try these out and see if you come up with a new songwriting routine. Got some tips of your own? Please, by all means, comment below, share with the community. And if you're a singer who needs community and networking, come to our mastermind group call. It's free. We meet on the first Friday of each month and talk about how we're monetizing our voices. The sign-up link for that and some more free resources is in the description below. And make sure to like and subscribe while you're here. New videos going up weekly, indefinitely. So I'll see you in the next one. Jump.